What do you make of the vaccination rollout process that India has seen so far? Multiple questions now being asked about whether we should allow for universal adult vaccination, whether they should be taken out of government control, whether we've reached a stage where companies such as yours should be allowed to sell the vaccine directly to people out in hospitals or at pharmacies who can go out and buy their dose and then administer it without having to go through the government system.
Well, that's possibly the most difficult question for any government to address or answer, or even a manufacturer, because on one side you have this global dependence on the Indian vaccine industry to supply. On the other side, you're seeing a surge of cases in India. So right now we are, and rightly so, prioritizing the needs of India and giving all our supplies to India, much to the displeasure and discontent of all the other world leaders who are disappointed in Serum Institute or not being able to fulfill their contractual obligations. But we're here to serve our nation first, and that's what we're doing for a temporary period. Remember, this is not forever. And secondly, to answer your question on whether it should be freely available to different age groups, private sector, etc., that again is a little tricky, because on the one hand, we're seeing this crunch and shortage of supply. And if we open up to every section, to all age groups, the vulnerable may suffer in that. And that's just to take the statement made by Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan, that is why it's not such an easy decision to just open it up below the age of 45. Now, there is an argument that, you know, if other countries are able to do it, why can't we? But the point here is our population can't be compared with other countries. So whilst I'm not defending anyone's decision, I'm just saying it's a very tricky and difficult position everybody is in today, where there's really no right or wrong answer. You know, should it be opened up to the private market for corporates to also buy the product or not? I mean, from my point of view, yes. But from the government and the poor individual's point of view, perhaps not, because the government today has to balance out the interests and needs of the lower, middle and upper class.
So you're in constant conversation with multiple stakeholders in government, both ministers and bureaucrats. What's your best sense at this moment, Adar Poonawalla, about how soon will your vaccine and other vaccines be available in the private market in India? How soon do you see that happen? We're in the beginning of April. Will it happen by the end of this month? Do you think it will require more time? What kind of timelines are you anticipating?
So I'll tell you what I've explained to the government, and they understand this given this situation. By not opening it up to the private market, we protect the vulnerable and give the priority-based vaccinations. Now, that is good for India and the people of India, perhaps not so good for the vaccine industry, which hopes to make a reasonable profit and return to innovate further, ramp up capacities, and kind of earn the revenues that foreign companies can do. But however, we are working with the government at this stage, at this price point, at this supply point, to take care of Indians first. That is, after all, our priority and responsibility. So, to answer your question, for a temporary period of 2 to 3 months, we have fully accepted the request from the Modi government to maintain this price and to prioritize the supplies to India. Now, if it's for a temporary period of time, that's okay. The vaccine industry has enough time to make its profits in the next few months and export obligations, etc., etc. However, we hope that it is a temporary period of time, because then it's not so good for everybody. So this is the service that we are providing as a vaccine industry to the nation in this time of crisis. And to answer your second part of your question, you know, we will see a major ramp up of Serum's facilities and other vaccine producers from the month of June onwards. Until then, we're going to see the kind of volumes that we're seeing today.
No, so explain that to me. At this moment, how many vaccines are you producing every hour, every day, every month? When I spoke to you last, this was after the unfortunate fire in one of the Serum facilities in Pune, At that time, you said that this fire will not have any impact on the production of Covishield vaccines for COVID-19. Later, I saw you being quoted as saying that because of that fire, some of the production plans have indeed been impacted. So what impact did the fire have on your production process? How many vaccines are you producing at this moment, Adar?
So let me clarify. When I said the fire will not have an impact on the production capacities, that is still an accurate statement, because that was pertaining to the existing facilities. For the ramp up and to induct new facilities and filling lines, that is what got pushed back by 2 months. So we were making 4 to 5 crore doses a month in January. Now we're making 6 to 6.5 crore doses on a monthly basis from this month. This was the plan and what we could get out of the existing buildings that we dedicated to COVID, which was not impacted by the fire. Later on, we explained to everybody that the ramp up and expansion plans, which we hoped would be available by the end of April, in terms of supply, or May even, has now been pushed back till the end of June. Because the additional filling line did get damaged in the fire, and so, you know, it's not a total write-off, it's just a delay of 2 months, and we were very lucky. Otherwise, the new additional facilities that we're planning to bring online, with the government's help, and we've submitted a proposal for aid from them, and if we don't get it from them, we'll still remain committed and go to the banks. That plan has been pushed back by 2 months. So that, I hope, clarifies, you know, the statement I made about the fire, which happened on the 21st, sadly, of January.